Hello, I am Bridget Rowe. I am energy, I am powerful, and I am who I say I am. The purpose of this video is to talk to you today about planet Nibiru and its effect on us and the things that are around us. Now, some people might not call it planet Nibiru. There are many names for it. Planet X, Planet 9. In the biblical text, they refer to it as wormwood. Some people will call it the mothership. Some people will call it the black sun. Some people, if you're deeply rooted in religion, you will call it Jesus or the coming of the second son, the S-U-N energy. So basically, if you're religious, Jesus is coming. Matter of fact, Jesus here. So it is located right now in the sky. You can actually see it. They sometimes try to manipulate weather and put clouds around it. They'll sometimes manipulate the sky and have chemtrails, not chemtrails, but chemtrails around it as well, right? To keep this ozone layer closed so you can't see it. But this particular planet or energy or conscious energy has already put holes in our ozone layer. And so it is being more exposed now. And the energy from it, even though it is not in our dimension, even though it's still in another dimension, another realm right now, we are exposed to it because of the holes in our ozone layer. I say that because I just think differently from others. See, now the purpose for this video is only to stimulate thought. There are going to be some people that don't believe in this. Some people don't believe in religion. Some people don't believe that in no planet Nibiru. Some people think on a simple level as, okay, well, the reason why the world is the way that it is because we have caused so much pollution. They have so much exhaust fumes that is causing pollution in the air. So that is the thing that's causing the holes in the ozone layer. And I could understand why they think that way. I am not here to judge them or say that their way of thinking is wrong, because at the end of the day, we have this law of duality, meaning that there are two extremes to the same thing. So if you have two extremes to the same thing, I can understand why they're saying that, because at the end of the day, they're saying we the people have to get together and clean up the world. And that is true to a certain extent. We do have to clean up the world. We need to clean up our mind, body, and soul, which will cause other people to wake up as well and quicken them to do the same and the same and the same, because consciously we are one. And so I can understand why they think that way. But on that note, I also can understand a bigger picture if I would step back from their thought process, and I would look at the world as being this multi-dimensional place, this boundless universe. And if I look at the world as being boundless and multi-dimensional, I cannot think on a simple note of pollution and exhaust fumes causing such powerful form of energies to be exuded throughout the universe. That's just how I look at it. Sometimes you just have to step back to get a bigger look at the picture and not limit it to your beliefs that you learned in school, that your mother, your pastor, your doctor told you. Just looking at the big picture will help you to see things in a different light. And then when you look at it in a big picture, you could understand everyone having their take on it, and you could agree, because all of them are right. There's no right or wrong way of doing it. All of them are right, just as long as we're coming to the same thing in the end. That's why it doesn't really matter what religion you are, what path you take, just as long as you ultimately get there to your higher consciousness at the end of the day. So because the ozone layer is open, it is my belief that manifestation is at its greatest. It is my belief that we have this open portal to this cosmic conscious energy that we stem from, right? That we are likened to, because we are energy. And so manifestation is going to be greater, but there's going to be a lot of changes and effects on the world outside of manifesting things, right? And so the effects on the world, as I can see it, is the fact that radiation would become an issue for some people. The effects on the world, just for like electronics, for example, us shifting to 5G, everything has to shift to a higher consciousness, a higher frequency, to keep up with this high frequency of energy or consciousness that is being hit or aimed toward this particular universe, toward the people, quickening us and activating our dormant DNA. So inside of us, we are being purged and we are being renewed back to our higher form of energy. And that might be, for some people, their blood being purged back to the old negative blood type, the master blood type that was for the original people of this particular universe. So it is quickening us with bodily changes like that. As far as the weather, the changes in the weather, the winters are gonna be colder, the summers are gonna be warmer. We could already feel that today. Today we're in December of 2018, and you could feel that now, like the cold weather, the fires, the earthquakes and things that's happening in the world right now. We know the changes are happening. We feel the chaos that is written about in the book of Revelations. If you are a religious person, you feel those things. And so I believe the changes are going to happen even with crops, even with our animals, that they're going to be died off. That's why I encourage people to stimulate thought now. I encourage people to change their diet now, because soon I feel as though we won't have those things to go to. Soon I believe that we're going to be ultimately in the end living off the sun, the sun energy. But soon, if you're a meat eater, soon you're going to evolve to where it's weighing your energy down a little bit too much. And so you need to get something lighter for your renewed or lighter body. And that might be being a vegan for some people. And even now in my physical reality, I feel as though, and I'm already purged from that part of the journey, I feel as though that I don't have the urge to eat as much anymore, that I can live off of just getting minerals, just getting my electrolytes and my sun and my water, So it's a process, and it's going to be a journey for us all, but all of those old ways of thinking are being purged away from us, and we're getting back to our original state of being. Whatever that is for you, is your journey. So I like to stimulate thought and ask, what are you doing to prepare for it? Regardless if you don't believe in the religious approach for it, if you don't believe in the planet Nibiru, if you just believe things are just happening in the world, we have a common goal at the end. Regardless of what you believe and don't believe, the commonality here is, in the end, we still need to do something. So what are you doing to prepare for this energy, for what is happening in the universe, in the world, if you want to limit your thoughts to just it being a worldly type thing? So, for example, I'm only stimulating thought, whether you believe in chemtrails or not, but let's just use common sense. So if we have common sense of chemtrails, not contrails, but chemtrails, or in the air that they're using to cover up so people won't see this particular energy or planet, if you will. Just like they do with the clouds, they'll put it on top and manipulate the weathers with the clouds. Even if you don't believe in that, just let's think about chemtrails for a minute. They're up there. If you see them, you see something up there. So common sense, whether you think they're harmful or not, you really don't know, because you've never been up there sniffing them, right? So common sense will tell you after that they spray them, and then there always rain seemingly afterwards. The rain will bring those particles down, to the ground where we are. The common sense thing would be, okay, well, let me not go running in the rain as soon as the rain comes down, because maybe this particle might not be of the best interest for me, whatever is in this particle. I don't know. That is just one thing you can do for stimulating thought on what you can be doing. Okay, now just thinking on diet, for example, if the crops and the animals are gonna be dying out, okay, let me consciously think, okay, what am I gonna live off of? Maybe I can stock up when I go to the store. I can stock up on some more vegetables just to put in my freezer just in case. Or if you're a meat eater and you want to stock up on meat, it's your journey. You do what you will with your energy. But just using a common sense approach to look ahead and think ahead on the weather, how it's so cold. So what if it gets extremely cold, so cold to where I can't handle it? What am I going to do to stay warm? Or just the opposite. What if during the summer months it is extremely hot, so much radiation is coming from this new energy, this new conscious energy that's hitting us? So how am I going to stay cool? Just to allow the thought. I'm not saying be in fear. I'm not saying, go get an underground house or all of this here stuff. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is simulate thought in your mind to prepare. Because heaven, even though I don't believe in it being an actual place, I believe it being a mindset. Heaven is a prepared place for prepared people. So prepare your mindset for your heaven is all I'm saying. And so I wanted to just share with you what I've noticed. I've noticed that the clouds, excuse me, I've noticed that the clouds are so beautiful. When I look up in the clouds, when they're not spraying or anything, but when I look up into the sky, the clouds are so fluffy and renewed. The energy from the sun is so bright. It is a brighter sun because, okay, we still have our old sun, but this new sun is just causing this newness of energy because a shift has already taken place, whether or not you've noticed or not. We have already moved into another realm or another dimension with this particular energy being exposed to us because the ozone layer has an opening in it from this particular energy. And so because this energy has busted through our ozone layer, even though it's in another multi-dimension, we're getting it. We're getting those frequencies. We're getting those powerful forms of energy that is coming and stemming from it. So I feel as though, and I see as though the sun is just so much brighter, and when it touches you, when I'm getting kissed by the sun, it is like I am just being renewed. It just feels so good. My dreams, I feel as though my dreams have been purging me of old fears, because we ultimately create fear and doubt and worry within ourselves. And so because this newness of energy is here, I feel as though my dreams have been purging me of old beliefs, of old fears. I feel as though there are glitches in the system as well. The other day I dropped the cup. And it was like everything in the room stopped. And I'm the only being that was able to move for a couple of little seconds. It probably was only maybe 2 seconds in this dimension, but everything stopped. And I'm just looking at the cup, and I could see in my peripheral vision that everyone else is still. So it felt to me as if it was a glitch in the system. I've been experiencing the lack of knowing what day it is. So for example, it takes me a couple of minutes to realize, okay, today is Thursday. It takes me longer than it would have before to realize. It's like so much so that the other day that I actually had to go and grab my phone to figure out what day it was because of the shift that has taken place within us, being in another dimension, another realm. Even something as simple as not remembering where you're going, a place that you go every day, forgetting the route to get there because we're in another dimension. A shift has taken place, like I said, because of this energy. So those are the things that I have noticed. Some people tell me that they feel DNA activation, sensations in their body, headaches, ringing noises, buzzing noises, in their ears, and tingling sensations around their pineal gland, things of that such. But I've already went through those things. So for me, it's just more or less like a shift taking place in my reality. Like I used to be here and now I'm here, and because I'm in this new place, I'm kind of like wondering, okay, which place is home for me, so to speak, in my mental. So that has been interesting. And the beautiful thing about it all is that some people are not there yet, but they're going to catch up later. Some people are so stiff-necked in their ways. Some people aren't feeling anything because they're choosing not to feel anything. They're choosing to ignore it, and they have to wake up for themselves. We can't just be sitting there beating up other people. Everybody has their time set on when they wanted to evolve, when they wanted to get up, and it might not even be their lifetime to do that. And that is okay because we are all energy, and the energy is not destroyed. It's simply transformed. So they'll get it at their appointed time. And so the beauty in it all is that not everybody is going to be vexed by the sun, experiencing radiation and famine, not the ones that are on the right frequency in the areas of mind, body, and soul. And it reminds me of that text in the biblical text when they talk about the Passover in the book of Exodus. There was a Passover that took place, and they were told to put the blood of the lamb on the house. And when God or source energy saw the blood, it would pass over that house. But why the blood though? Why the blood? I'd like to believe it was the blood because the melanin was in the blood. Consciousness is in the blood. And a lot of people look over this, but there is so much life force in the blood. And so with this energy purging us and renewing our DNA, it is activating our blood. And so as the biblical text says, no plague shall fall upon you when I strike the land. There's power in the blood. Clean up the temple and be blessed.